are welcome to session 4 of Unit 5. And in this session, we are going to look at evaluating the physics curriculum. My name is Patrick Ejay. Now, by the end of this session, you should be able to define curriculum evaluation, then distinguish between formative and summative evaluation of the physics curriculum, then explain the functions of curriculum evaluation, then explain how to evaluate the physics curriculum document and the teaching learning environment. Now let's look at the concept of curriculum evaluation. Now when we say evaluation, there are several meanings that can be given to the term curriculum evaluation. And some of the meanings that represent curriculum evaluation are the process of passing judgment on the worth or value of the curriculum or program, the collection and use of information to make decisions about an educational program or subject, and the process of describing and judging an educational program or subject. Then the process of defining, obtaining, and using relevant information for decision-making process or purposes. Now, when you look at all these definitions, you realize that all these definitions are related, and you can see from the various definitions that they all talk about collecting or collection of data and using these data to make decisions that will help you in making judgments about the worth of the curriculum itself. Now let's look at the types of curriculum evaluation. And there are two types of curriculum evaluation. And these are the formative evaluation and the summative evaluation. Now when we talk of formative evaluation, this is the evaluation process that looks for evidence of success or failure of a program, a syllabus, or a subject taught as it is being implemented. What it means is that it is an activity that is carried out before a program ends. So, anytime you are teaching, we have been doing formative evaluation. After teaching a topic, we give an exercise to find out whether students understood the various concepts that were presented to them. Now, whenever we do this, our aim of doing this is to find out whether the instruction was successful, and if it is not, then we can see what can be done to avoid failures in the topics that were treated. And so informative, this is an ongoing form of evaluation. It occurs as we implement the curriculum. Now, summative evaluation. This evaluation is conducted at the end of the program cycle as intended by the curriculum designer. So example can be every 5 years, we will evaluate the curriculum to find out the strengths, the weaknesses, and other stuff. So summative evaluation assesses the cost effectiveness of the program in terms of money, time, and personnel. It also assesses the training needs of the physics teachers for successful implementation of the curriculum, as well as the comparative advantage of a new curriculum design, syllabus, or subject over the one it intended to replace. So this is what summative. If you want to relate this to our teaching, then we can say that our end of term exams, end of semester exams are forms of summative evaluation, which is done at the end of, let's say, 3 or 4 months to find out students' strengths and weaknesses in the subject area. Now let's look at the functions of curriculum evaluation. And curriculum evaluation has two major functions. And these functions are: one is for informing decision makers on the strengths and weaknesses of the curriculum so that remedial action can be taken. And the second one is by the physics teachers. What do we mean? In other words, we are trying to say that it enables the physics teachers to determine the effectiveness of their teaching. And this allows them to consider whether to change or improve their teaching learning strategies. So that is the the functions of curriculum evaluation. Now, let's look at evaluating the physics curriculum. And anytime we want to evaluate the physics curriculum, there are some components of the physics curriculum that must be evaluated. And one of these components is the objectives. So let's look at evaluating curriculum objectives. Now, a well-designed physics curriculum must contain objectives. And this objective will serve as a guide in the selection of curriculum learning experiences to specific behaviors that are being sought in the learner. It will serve as a guide to the selection of appropriate teaching learning strategies and related techniques. It will also serve as a guide to the evaluation of teacher effectiveness. So all these are some of the things that the curriculum evaluating the objective do assess. Now, there are some questions that need to be asked whenever we are assessing the curriculum objectives. And these questions are the objectives precisely stated? Are they clear and measurable? Are they accurate? That is, are they valid? Or do they reflect the needs and aspirations of the learner and society? Are they practicable or achievable? Are they consistent with one another? They cover cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domains of human behavior. All these questions must be asked anytime we are evaluating curriculum objectives. And are they stated in terms of specific content? So in brief or in summary, are the objectives SMART? That is, are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they achievable? Are they realistic? Are they time-bound? All these are questions that must be asked anytime we are evaluating curriculum objectives. Now, let's look at evaluating the curriculum experiences. Now, the selected learning experiences which are indicated in the physics curriculum need to be evaluated to ensure that they are meaningful and realistic. And evaluation should be made to determine if the learning experiences are up to date, are they valid, are they based upon needs and interests of the learner and society, are they in keeping with the maturity level of the learner, are they interrelated when possible. All these things must be done anytime we are evaluating the curriculum experiences. Now, evaluation of organization of the learning experiences. And this involves asking specific questions about the arrangement of the selected learning experiences. And these specific questions are whether the curriculum content are organized vertically or horizontally. We look at the organization, the dimensions of organization in the previous session. Do they meet the criteria of continuity, sequence, and integration, logical ordering of subject matter, simple to complex organization of subject matter, and concrete to abstract arrangement? All these things must be met anytime we are evaluating how the learning experiences have been organized in the curriculum. Now let's look at evaluation of proposed teaching learning strategies. Now it is necessary to determine the extent to which the proposed teaching strategies will help the learners to achieve the curriculum objectives. And some specific questions to guide you anytime you are evaluating the proposed teaching learning strategies are: is the teaching learning strategy appropriate for the objective? Is the teaching learning strategy appropriate for the maturity levels of the learner? Does the teaching learning strategy allow for individual differences? Do they allow for individual abilities of the learner? And finally, is the teaching learning strategy motivating or rewarding? All these questions must be asked, and answers must be given to these questions anytime we are evaluating the proposed teaching learning strategies of the curriculum. Now, let's now evaluate the curriculum designing process. Now, a comprehensive evaluation of the physics curriculum design or document calls for the assessment of the curriculum designing process. Now, in this area, we ask questions such as who was responsible for developing the curriculum? Who participated in developing the curriculum? Were those who would utilize the curriculum involved in its development? So, were teachers involved? What sources of data were used in developing the curriculum? All these questions must be answered anytime we are evaluating the curriculum designing process. Now, we will also ask questions such as what resource personnel were used in developing the curriculum? Have provisions been made for upgrading and revising the curriculum? Have provisions been made for teacher and learner feedback? The answers to the above questions will determine the quality of the curriculum document and the ease with which the document can be implemented. Now, students, in this session, we have discussed curriculum evaluation and we saw the various activities that must be carried out to help you gain practical experience on how to evaluate a physics curriculum document or syllabus. Now, let us take these questions. What aspects of the physics curriculum design or syllabus are evaluated? Let us get our answers ready and present these answers in our subsequent session. Thank you for joining this session and see you in the next session. Bye.